Ed, what are you hearing today about that GM partnership?
Yeah, we're hearing from sources that GM basically took a look at it, at what Nikola actually had in terms of technology. You remember the original deal was not just for GM to provide some fuel cell technology for Nikola's big rigs at semi-trucks, but also to manufacture a pickup on their behalf. But what we're hearing from sources is that they basically looked at what Nikola had. There wasn't that much there with the pickup. And so executives at GM decided to take a step back. Under the new deal, GM will not take an equity stake. They basically just become a supplier of technology to Nikola for which Nikola pays for, right? And we're also hearing that from the Nikola side, executives kind of felt the company had bitten off a bit more that they could chew. You know, under Trevor Milton, that we talked about a lot, he had all of these different projects and ideas that extended from semi-trucks to a pickup truck to power sports vehicles. But he has since resigned since that short seller report and reports of SEC and DOJ interest in the company. And the current leadership looked at what they had ahead of them and felt they really needed to streamline what Nikola was trying to do. And that is simply to focus on commercial semi-trucks that are powered by hydrogen fuel cell technology, which some of which will come from GM and some of which will come from Robert Bosch.
Of course, the company's now steered to a large extent by a former GM executive, Steve Gursky, as chairman. What of that relationship and how does it evolve? Do we see them get back on board once it's a little bit more proven, for example?
Well, under the terms that we saw this morning from GM, it does leave room for them to expand the relationship to include battery technology. That was also something that was part of the original deal. But it seems like that is now off the table. We reported earlier in the year that Stephen Gursky was a big part of those talks. He made the initial introduction between Trevor Milton and Mary Barra, the GM CEO. But I mean, what's extraordinary about this deal is, like, say, for example, GM had walked away, say that it was completely off the table. Nikola still has all of the pieces that it needs to carry on with its business plan. It's building a factory of its own in Arizona. It has a joint venture in Europe with Iveco, one of the most established builders of semi-trucks in the world. It has this long-standing relationship with Robert Bosch, who are providing a number of core components and working with them on technology. So they still have all the things they need. I think really this is a reputational hit to the company.
I am curious about their reputational hit here, Ed, because, I mean, even if they have all the pieces, the idea that a company like GM was willing to walk away from this, a lot of people are reading into that GM must have seen something, or rather maybe they didn't see something that they were looking for.
Yeah, on the pickup truck side, the Badger side, you know, sources, as I said, tell us that they looked at what Nikola actually had, and there wasn't much there. And GM felt it already made heavy investments in its own electric pickup trucks, you know, the EV Hummer that's coming at the end of next year. GM has been working on fuel cell technology for almost 2 decades. That's what GM wants. It wanted to find a mechanism that it could find its fuel cell technology in a commercial product. And so the end result is what we get. GM sells that technology to Nikola. Sources did tell me earlier in the year, though, the issue is that GM fuel cells have been designed for use in a consumer vehicle, a consumer car, not a semi-truck. So what I'm hearing is that it's actually going to take a little bit of time for GM to adjust the design to fit in with the design of Nikola's truck.